Back on the discussion segment on Good Morning Anambra this lovely Wednesday morning. Already, my name is Ajulu Chukwukawe, and here we have a topic that concerns all of us. In Anambra State, we are having our voters, continuous voter registration for the forthcoming election that will be happening soon, because that's your power, you understand, to make the decision on the ballot boxes. And this morning we want to talk about the recent developments, talking about House of Reps moving to strip President of power to appoint INEC chairman. And that's what we'll be talking about this morning. And then, before we introduce our guest, IJ, could this be a step in the right direction in the electoral reform that Nigerians earnestly clamor for? Could it be the beginning of it?
Let's see how it goes. I've been monitoring or studying the advent of that initiative. We initiated the motion, how acceptable it is to the entire House, and then when it leaves House of Reps to the Senate chambers, and they're not going to use their big boots and crush it. So this is just what I've been looking up to. But let's see how it goes.
Well, let's see how it goes, and let's see how much more our guests will be talking about that, talking in the person of Nonso Orakwe, Executive Director, Catch Them Young Community Initiative, Katikoi. Good morning, Nonso.
Good morning, Kabwe, the IJ. The people that make things happen here.
Thank you so much for that.
So good morning, Anambrians and Southeast in general.
Yeah,
it's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.
Welcome indeed.
We've known you over the years to be a political, let's say, social educator when it has to do with voting and, getting our youth involved in the benefits of casting their vote and knowing their civic responsibility on the area of where your vote counts and what your vote should actually do in changing the narratives. Now, when this news of House of Reps, clamoring for, this move to strip the president of the appointment of the INEC chair, how well did it go down with you in this area of electoral reforms that we are still clamoring for, but this is just one arm of it?
Okay, first of all, we need to know the genealogy of that. Is a bill.
Yeah.
So I think in 2023 general election, the fallout of that election wasn't so good to young people.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think I've mentioned it. I've said it over and over here in the studio. And what young people did was to begin to go deep into what transpired and the way forward, how they can mitigate the reoccurrence and all that. So, and they came up with this thing. When I'm talking of young people, I'm talking of young people across the nation.
Yeah.
Geopolitical zone by geopolitical zone. But in this part of Southeast, Katikoi, Catch Them Young Community Initiative, actually anchor the young people in the Southeast. And trust me, when we are coming up with recommendations, what was coming out from the Southeast was also coming out from the South, Northeast, and all.
So there was some kind of collaboration.
Yes, of what people actually want.
Okay.
So, but at the end of the day, we now streamline it to 5 recommendations. Okay. So that 5 recommendations, this very one is one of it. So one of it. How do we put it? INEC leadership selection process reform. So what does that mean? It means that create an independent selection committee to nominate INEC leadership to the National Assembly to remove political influence.
Hold on, so before we get to this, let's get the background of the issue that is on ground. We are coming to this.
Okay.
Okay, let's first of all look at the current process for appointing the INEC chairman and what are its major weaknesses. That is, let us find out where the roots of our problem. Then we'll start talking about the changes. Two, how much influence does the president currently have in appointing the INEC chairman? And finally, there are examples from past appointments that suggest bias or lack of independence, which of course necessitated the clamor for change.
Okay,
so let's look at
one
of
the first question you asked was what?
What is the background?
What happened? Okay, yes. What happened is this. If you see our political space when it comes to electioneering, it seems the presidents have this influence over who he appoints to man the umpire. Okay, so on that, the player or the chairman of the umpire tends to favor the president whenever he wants to be re-elected or to be elected. Okay, what is happening is that if Oga Pubalongwe and Oga was asking something from you.
But this didn't happen during Goodluck Jonathan and Jega.
No, but it happens concurrently. It happens who knows? Who knows if it happened?
It did, but Goodluck lost the election.
He decided.
Jega appointed.
He decided to relinquish power. What if he said no? What if he said no? So
if he has said no, what would have Jega, that is the INEC chairman, done to rescue that election? Because apparently it was obvious that APC won that election. Okay. And Jega, that Goodluck Jonathan appointed, did not stand with Goodluck.
No.
As this Mahmoud stood with
it depends on the individual.
Yeah.
Jonathan, for crying out loud, the guy is a Democrat, whether we like it or not. He came from somewhere. He is not a tyrant.
It can be argued that we don't even need this stripping of power.
Aside from...
Someone can cite this Jonathan Jega as an excuse that we don't need. After all, Jonathan was there and Jega gave election results that removed an incumbent. So why will you take that power of removing from the president?
No,
so these are areas where...
No, that of Jonathan was a gang up. It was a gang up.
It was a gang up. Yes. It was a cabal issue.
Yeah, it was.
Okay? And he cannot do anything about it. And people were saying, does it mean you don't know what others are doing? During Obasanjo time, you can do that. Okay? So Jonathan is actually a Democrat, and secondly, the power that was against him was so much that he cannot bear the pressure. So what we are doing now is to have a policy that backs things like that up. So that is actually the background, where presidents will have influence over the chairman of the umpire. We want to stop that.
So it becomes the case of who pays the piper, dictates the tune.
Okay? So that is actually the much I can say about the background.
Okay. So let's go.
So now give us the beginning, how you said this thing came into power based on the tidbits, catch the coil, and then the reforms.
Okay, there are actually, it's not only catch coil like I said. There are other organizations like JEDEF, like KDI, Park Development Initiative, like so many of them, and
all get towards this election and then getting youths involved in elections.
All getting into this policy that we are after I established after the 2023 election, young people were dissatisfied, and if you are dissatisfied, what can you do to be satisfied?
What exactly really happened during the 2023 election from the INEC angle? What did they do that got you dissatisfied and you want a change?
Young people feel what the vote that was casted was not well
the reflection of the
result. It didn't reflect on the result.
And subsequently, the electoral laws and the electoral acts that hitherto was passed even before the election, were they followed to the letter that led to the destruction we had during the 2023 elections?
The preparation was fine to every young person. The preparation that gets towards the election was okay. Only to get to the election day, people were, were misplaced.
We started seeing the glitches.
The whole thing started playing out. So that election was what they were discussing. So now, to avoid reoccurrence, young people now said, no, we must do something that has to do with the policy. That is amendment of the Electoral Act. And as they are doing it, the National Assembly also keyed into reforming the electoral system. Not only the electoral system, even the constitution. And it sounds best for young people to key in and make their voice heard.
Did the young people ever thought of going to court, taking INEC to court after that 2023 election?
No, even the court matter was also here. You cannot get, the court matter was also part of the policy that was recommended. Okay? If I wouldn't mind, I will
No, you will take it.
I will
Definitely.
brush them. I will brush.
take it.
So
We're just trying to
young
establish
people,
what the problem is.
when you are talking of young people, is it a body, or is not? We don't have a kind of body that organizes young people that can
using
go.
the word young people. So that's why I want to.
So young people now, young people now has a kind of youth organization they belong, and those youth organization now form a coalition, non-governmental organization, form a coalition which Young Community Initiative is a member. Okay, form a coalition. That is where we discuss all this recommendation. It was about 85 in number, but what we did was to cut them, match the ones we need to match. And let me tell you, before we came up with this recommendation, the stakeholders like INEC, like NUJ, like host of them were part of the people that contributed to this final recommendation.
Let's hear this recommendation and then begin to see the,
Okay, look at the recommendation is this document is everywhere in this country. In fact, we have done advocacy visits with this recommendation to almost all the National Assembly members. Here in Anambra, here in Southeast, we have met so many National Assembly members. We even travel from here to Abuja to go and meet these people.
Let's have a bit of it.
Okay, so one of them is establishment of an Electoral Offences Commission. This Offences Commission is to create an independent body to prosecute electoral offenders and uphold election integrity. Now, this one is when you catch somebody in electoral malpractice.
Cite an example, please.
Like people who
induce vote buying.
Vote buying and all of that. Okay, you have no, if you then and there, if you tell police, see what I'm saying, police will do like say no. I don't know what they are talking about, because it's not in their jurisdiction to handle that matter. Okay, now this recommendation is to find a body that will man that offense.
Electoral offenses.
Electoral offenses. That position or that duty is for them alone. Okay.
Is it going to be paramilitary or civilians?
Whether civilian, but they have to have this power to execute such a exercise. Okay. So 2, we have timely transmission of election results. Timely transmission of election results. If you watch what happened in the 2023 elections, you see when results were coming. They were not timely.
This timely transmission, are you talking about electronic?
Electronic. Implement electronic transmission of election results from all level of collation to a central place where citizens can access for quicker and transparent election outcomes.
Just like we were almost experiencing during 2023 before the glitches.
So what happened? What happened that the whole thing cut off?
They said it's a glitch.
So now that's what. So now the glitches is what young people are saying it shouldn't be.
Who or what is that glitch?
The glitch is network. They'll tell you that there is network issue. There is.
So how will the young people control network?
No, they should. They should. There is mobile network they can
access.
Who are the INEC or?
They can work on it with the ICT.
We want to see the realistic measure of what we are proposing.
Let me tell you something. In an ideal world, take for instance America, even Ghana here, if you watch Ghana's election, you find out that they don't suffer what we are suffering. Rather, perhaps.
Mind you, Ghana doesn't have the population of Nigeria. You consider the population of Nigeria?
No, live population.
Are you bigger than India? It's not population thing.
It's not population. It's IQ
Are
thing.
you bigger than China?
It's
They
IQ
still
thing.
do their things.
It's IQ thing.
You know?
Let me tell you, if Nigeria up to now cannot make what's it called, our voters card to be a national what's it called, a national identity card that can serve for everything, we have a problem. Someone is benefiting from such development. So what I'm saying in essence is there is no place in Nigeria that if Nigeria wants to, our leaders want network to get into, that they will not get it. It's just a matter of integrity and sincerity. But these are those places that they feel there will be no network, are those places they leverage on to rig elections.
So what do we intend to do?
So what we said now, transmission means that every corner, every nooks and cranny of the nation must have network. If MTN are taking network to your village, putting up tall mats, let them take it to that place and let them pay, let them fund it. If it's if it must be an MTN network or whatever, but whichever network they want, let them execute it so that Nigerians can have access to elections. Like I said, timely transmission of results. And when these things happen, you can't be waiting for, as you are voting, people are watching your vote. As you are voting, people are seeing it on the screen. As you are voting, people can use their phone to access it. What is too difficult about it?
There's nothing difficult. It's
So
just we don't want to do it.
We don't want to do it.
That's just it. That's nothing difficult about it.
Secondly,
now, if we don't want to do it, what can we do to make them do it? That's the problem.
that's the policy.
That's exactly what
the policy.
What they're trying to
This
do.
is the document. Once they have it on ground, once you don't do it, the people can now ask questions. We have this in the electoral act, electoral law. Why is it not being implemented? Okay, so the next one is interpretation and amendment of continuous voters registration provisions.
Like we are having currently now in Anambra.
Yes, now interpret the word continuous in section 10 of the Electoral Act 2022 to allow for continuous voters registration, making it easier for all-round voters registration. Now we had, what's it called? Continuous voters registration. Why is it that it's not continuous? So interpret that word, continuous. Whether it should be every day. Once you turn 18, you can
They're already
access.
warning us that of the Anambra State is coming to an end very,
So-
very early, and we are begging them to extend. What is the continuous about
What is the
it?
continuous about it? So interpret that clause there, continuous. Interpret it for Nigerians, so that we know if we are if
it's an English word.
So that's
German.
I'm even trying to wrap my head around the word continuous because I don't anything continuous doesn't need to have a break.
It doesn't need to break.
What they are doing without is
every day.
periodical,
Listen, people
not
are turning
continuous.
18 every day. There are people who turn 18 today.
Yeah.
So once you turn 18, you go and register if it's continuous. If it's not continuous, then if you
And
get
people apart from even turning 18, people misplace documents. Your voter's card, you can misplace it.
Or you
can
change abode.
You can as well immediately you misplace it. You go. And
That's what I'm saying. So there are so many reasons why it needs to be continuous.
So another one, post-election petition resolution.
That's a big one because that's where we have
Post-election petition resolution. Conclude all post-election disputes before inauguration to ensure stability and fairness. It's not after election.
When somebody has been sworn in for 1 year.
As president, and you are going to court with him, with the president.
You see, so the last one is INEC leadership selection process reform, which we are discussing about.
Yeah.
Now, it says create an independent selection committee to nominate INEC leadership to the National Assembly to remove political influence, in quotes. Political influence, which always comes from the president.
Is it possible?
Am I not the one that put it
Is
there?
political influence possible?
Of course. It's
Okay.
possible. If everything is possible, the problem we have in Nigeria is implementation, enforcement.
Now, so
It's-
we
it's
started
very possible.
choosing, what do you call it? These people that monitor elections.
Observers.
No, not observer, the ones who pick from the universities.
Okay, ad hoc staffs.
Is that
Vice Chancellor.
No, that's what they call them. You know, the people that monitor election in each state, all those.
observers?
Okay, INEC residents.
Okay, rec.
It's not
Rec,
residents.
rec.
It's not rec. Rec is there.
Observers.
It's not observer. When I remember it, I'll tell you. We started picking them from the universities to man elections in different states. What was the intention? To bring people that are political. You are in the university, you are an academy, you don't have business with elections, you don't have business with politics. That was the initial intention of bringing professors from the university to man elections in different states. Yet,
Returning officers?
returning officers, thank you. Yet, we're having this problem. We're having this problem of, you know, getting them corrupted. Let me just give it to them that they never wanted to, but the politicians will corrupt them and then they will do their bid.
No, what?
So how are we going to choose these people? I'm going somewhere.
Returning
How are we
officer
gonna
is to
choose this
announce the
committee?
results. That's his job. His job is
And,
after the
and if
collation
I
of the-
win and he announced that you won, you have not heard it. You are from Ghana, you're not from Nigeria. So you didn't hear what happened in Abia and a whole lot of states. Let's keep it. But how can we pick these people? Because that's where I'm going. And make sure that not a political that are going to,
So
do
now
our
the
bid.
stakeholders.
Nobody's going to influence
the
them.
stakeholders are some persons from ICANN, possibly Catholic Bishop of Nigeria, possibly from the
Imams.
imams. Okay, that level of stakeholders. That's what we are pushing for. Once these people comes together and get their nominees now, they now push it to the Senate, and that committee must have a kind of a structure that guides them. But it must be Nigerians who are not pronounced politicians, because I won't say who are not politicians, because
everybody is a political.
everybody is a political animal. Whether we like it or not, you must have interest of one person
Or
the
sentiment.
other. But when you have this coalition of stakeholders, things tend to do what? To change, because
They will be checkmating each other.
Okay, this one will ask questions. There will be a whole lot of assessments on the nominee and all of that before it gets to the Senate. So that's actually why this recommendation was placed. In fact, before now, what we did was we call it unbundle INEC. Their work, the work in their hands are too much. And that is why we have all these things.
Okay, this is for the coalition of the young
So,
people's.
sorry to say this. Yes, last week they had a Senate public hearing on constitutional review at Enugu. Our coordinator, Ken Olisa, was there in Enugu to present this thing officially at the public hearing. And also, by Saturday...
You give us a breakdown on that when we come back. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll definitely continue. We're still talking about the president being stripped of powers to appoint INEC chair. Don't go anywhere. We're definitely going to be coming back after this break.
I don't know how possible this is, because the president of a nation is an elected president. For you to elect a president, it has to go through an election, and the current president of the nation, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is elected by the people through voting. So, and if by chance, if there's any way you can take him out of office, I think it's by impeachment.
Yes, of course. Say president is elected president. There's no way INEC will remove the president because an elected president. It can't be possible.
Hearing it now that the same House of Assembly is trying to, House of Rep is trying to strip him of that power and to put the INEC chairman as the president of a nation. I think this is my first time of hearing this type of thing. So I don't know how it's going to happen, but this is Nigeria. Everything is possible.
I cannot say that they can do it. Actually, they're supposed to be able to do it. But because of what Nigeria is, the Nigerian factor is there to play down on their power. Money politics that is playing in Nigeria. Based on that, I'm saying that it may not be possible, but they have to do what they need to do. Then they leave the rest to the owner of the people.
I would say literally is an awkward thing to happen in Nigeria because first of all, our INEC is not okay. So jumping from fire, that would be jumping from fry pan to fire. So it's not really obtainable, and nobody have ever been impeached. I can't recall that in our history around this part of the world. So it doesn't make sense. It's awkward.
Our street parliamentarians everybody seems to be happy about this new development, and we are beginning to sing the praises of, if this thing eventually comes into play, the benefit it will be to Nigerians and then our electoral reform. Because sincerely speaking, when honest people find their way into the corridors of power, and that's going to be the foundation, that's going to be the beginning of us having that transformed nation and reorientation of basically every person. Now, so before we went on the break, you were about telling us what the National Assembly, what your organization, sister body of your organization, we're doing in trying to get these electoral reforms even before now. Can you take it off from there?
Okay, so what we have done to actually get to this level that the National Assembly, that's the House of Reps part, took it to this extent was we were able to meet many of them at the National Assembly. Some of them we met here in Anambra, some of them we met in Abia, in Imo, in Enugu, in Ebonyi State at home. Then some we met at Abuja, including Senator Victor Ume. Even it's a sad news that the time we met Ifeanyi Oba, he gave us an appointment for us to have a conclusion on it. He gave up. May his soul rest in peace. So, and having done that, we have done a whole lot of media engagement to make sure that this thing flies, because it's very important that we'll have it right. We'll get it right now. It won't be nice.
Is it going to be 2027 election, or we're looking?
No, we are looking at 2027 election. We are looking at.
So why not use a state election, one of these target elections, in order to test run it to see?
No, it will not fly because it's still ongoing. Like Saturday now, the House of Reps will get will do their public hearing. That's where these things you also hear this thing again now at Imo State and Enugu State, respectively. So it's the timing is not going to favor Anambra.
Okay.
But subsequently, I know the target is to make sure that this thing happens 2027. By next year, you should be talking about adoption and enactment of the electoral law.
Okay, like we did before the 2023 election with the electoral laws that went through the National Assemblies before the election of 2023, and yet we still had all the problems that we experienced. But it's okay. I'm not being pessimistic about the whole thing. I hope it flies. It's for everybody's good. But from what we are seeing now, this is a proposal from YAP Niger.
From YEP Niger.
Okay, YEP Niger. They are coming together of different youth bodies. Okay, I don't know what they call them, but that's what they are.
Okay, so
what do you call it? Your proposal is for us to choose people from different organizations, men of integrity from different groups, NMA, MBA, ICANN, the CAN, and all the imam, all the bodies. Okay, but then, and you have made me to understand that you guys are working in accordance with, working in partnership with the reps, members of the reps. But just, was it on Monday, we saw the reps recommendation on the choice of, on the selection of INEC chairman. What they were proposing is that that the constitution should allow allow NJC, Nigerian Judicial Council, to be in charge of appointment of INEC chairman instead of the executive. So how do we now relate this, their own proposal and your own proposal?
So the major thing is let the powers leave the presidency, because that is so influential. That's the major
power
thing.
To appoint INEC chairman.
Yes, is to leave the presidency. Okay, it doesn't treat our electoral system right.
It doesn't bring about the independence that
it's supposed to project. Okay, so that's the major thing. If at the end of the day it's not the coalition of stakeholders, but it's stepped out from the presidency, that will also be very fine. Even NJC is also a stakeholder, powerful stakeholder. But let's see how the debate will look like.
No, so there's going to be a problem.
No, it's
we have three arms of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. Now you want the appointment of the INEC chairman to leave the executive and enter judiciary, because NJC is a body in judiciary. So that's exactly what you're asking for.
So what we are looking at, you know, the major thing now is that this thing has, you know, it has come up as a topic to be discussed. Okay? So the next thing is now, what do they want to hear? Why are we giving them why do they want to hear us? We want to we want to give them recommendation on how this should be done. They might have their own way, but by the time public hearing, everybody speak on this, how it will be done. They might choose to subdue theirs and use the people's opinion. That's the reason for the public hearing.
Talking about subduing theirs for this, but the NJC, that's the Judicial Council, don't print posters. They don't seek election like the Senate and then the executive. So it could equally mean that the fact that these people are apolitical, they should be in the best position to actually select the INEC.
The NJC?
Yeah.
It will. Let's get it at the public.
NJC that the executive appoints the head.
Let's get to the public hearing. If NJC should be part of the stakeholders, fine, because they can influence everybody at the same time. The recommendation will be let NJC be part of the other stakeholders, be part of the coalition that does the selection.
They have not been able to.
If they are proposing
to struggle their heads, to struggle their head off executive.
So what we are saying, even in the stakeholders, that might be one of the stakeholders that will do this selection. Yeah. Okay, so if they are singling them out to do the whole thing, that will be it won't be democracy.
No, based on how far you guys have gone in doing this, talking about the youth electoral, the YEP movement, how feasible is this going to happen? As in getting the president to relinquish that power of appointing INEC chair.
It's not,
how feasible do you think it's going to be?
It's not about president relinquishing. It's about the people asking him to relinquish. See, until we begin to understand this democracy and the powers around it, okay?
Because we're working with the internal workings of the country.
It's not about
Nigeria. We're talking about. We're not talking about democracy as being practiced in every other part of the world. But we're talking about
Nigerian system.
Exactly.
Now, the people now. Why do you know why? Why I love this public hearings is not one man's show. It's something that is everywhere. At the end of the day, it's not the president that will conclude. Other people are making inputs. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is this. It's not about the president. It's about what Nigeria. And let me tell you, Nigeria of 4 years ago is not Nigeria today. people are getting more enlightened. In fact, our electoral system has, brushed up so many things from people.
We are still having that apathy of voting come the next election, because people have already said that they came out en masse, 10 million fresh registrants for last election, and yet nothing.
No, but that's the wrong. That's the wrong.
But we are still battling that.
I know, but I'm telling you,
because there's no transparency, there is no integrity in the electoral body.
Is a wrong perspective. Okay, if we keep running
but
away,
it's wrong, but that's the reality.
I'm not disputing it.
Okay.
So what I'm saying in essence is this: is wrong, and I want to use this medium to ask Nigerians that whatever that is good that we have done before, let us replicate it, because we cannot leave this country for some certain people to take away from us. It is our own. It is our country, and we must take back our country. So we don't. It's not about. It's not about we tried it didn't work. We will now leave it for them. They will mess. That means they will kill all of us. So it's now that we will need to replicate what we have done before that is right, not by killing, not by snatching buses and all of that. Let us also come out the mass and do the needful. Repeat what you did before, and in fact, triple what you have done before.
If what you did before did not work and you want to repeat it, why don't you think of adjustment?
That's the adjustment. It didn't work. That's why this document came up.
Why you are repeating what you have done before, and the people that are snatching the buses and running away with it will still get into
and
power.
That is why this document now came up. So that whatever you are doing, it's a policy.
Well, Nigeria
this Nigeria, to me, it will not continue this way.
I pray so, but let's look for solution now. So let's look for solution. We have talked about what you guys have come up with. Choosing people from different organizations, stakeholders to form a committee that will be in charge of selection or appointment of INEC chairman, while the rest is recommending for NJC to do that. Now let's look at other areas who have tried to see the weaknesses of these suggestions anyway, that people can still be influenced. NJC is an arm of government. So why don't us look at other solutions that could bring a very conducive atmosphere that INEC chairman will be chosen on basis of merit. Number one of them is, why don't the stakeholders, civil societies, professional bodies, and political parties be given a role in screening and nominating candidates for the INEC chairmanship?
That is exactly what we have also done. Because in the coalition, the civil society, CSO will be there.
Oh, really?
And the screening will be done.
The political parties, will they be involved too?
Political parties will be involved.
Because this is where we are going to.
Political parties will be involved.
Because all the political parties they will not allow one party to dominate.
They are all stakeholders. Give us representative. That's the coalition. You can't do this without involving the political parties, because what you are doing is politics.
Okay.
Okay. These are people that will come. Who are you nominating? Come, stand here. Come and. This one is not take a bow. It's not about taking a bow, because everybody have interest.
We have had debates in the past. Come and tell us what you can do for us.
Do you get it? So
and after all those debates,
the stakeholders involves these people you've just met. I think I align with you. It's part of what we discussed.
Okay, let me suggest another one. Let me suggest another area where we can do it and see if we can get it right. Okay. What about what they do in organizations like the judiciary, whereby the most senior takes the place?
We also consider those things, because let me tell you, the survey we did, we now said, aside from judiciary, we also even consider it in INEC. What about the highest ranking officer in INEC
to
take it?
Because this is a professional body.
Now,
the person has monitored the election all through the years. And now the most senior leaves, the next person enters.
Now
instead of going about this appointment.
All these things were in a survey.
The most senior will come from
wherever you come from.
So sometimes INEC chairman goes on rotational basis based on geopolitical zones.
So do you know? No, it's not.
It doesn't really follow. They appoint whoever they like.
So
But
now,
once you rise from ranks, then whether you are from one place or two places,
So what if
it doesn't concern
we have
anybody.
seen in a situation whereby a high-ranking officer in civil service were asked to retire, what's it called, compulsory retirement because of what awaits
I
them.
know they do it even in the military.
Do you get it? So these are what we also look at and said, let's avoid it. Let's have a selection, but the person must have experience in what he's going into.
Nigeria is becoming impossible, and I hope we'll get it right.
So,
Because this is what they do in all places.
you know, you kept asking of the bodies. I have the people who actually converged to make this. And if you wouldn't mind, let me just call their names.
Call their
So,
names.
in the Northwest, we have Jazz Development Foundation. In the North Central, our national partner for this is Kimpa Development Initiative, KDI. Then in the Southwest, we have the New Generation Girls and Women Development Initiative, NIGAD. In the South-South, we have Connected Advocacy. In the Southeast, we have Catch Them Young Community Initiative, Katikoi. And in the Northeast, we have Child Protection and Peer Learning Initiative, CPPLI. These are the organizations that came together to man this
And they are all a collaboration, amalgamation of other agencies within the region.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like in Anambra here, in the Southeast, we have to carry everybody along. People who are both the umpire, both a whole lot of advocacies in the different stakeholders, agencies, and all of that.
So now, within these agencies that came up to form this document that you're talking about, you guys unanimously agreed that this is the way to go.
Of course. If you watch this about let me just talk about it. The Youth-Led Electoral Reform Advocacy Consortium, YEP Niger, is a coalition of youth-focused, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, actively engaging with a diverse group of young people across Nigeria, with support from National Democratic Institute and the National Endowment for Democracy, NED. Then the consortium collaborates with partners organizations in all 6 geopolitical zones, which I have mentioned, and youth networks across the 36 states, including federal capital. The consortium mission is to identify and advocate for key electoral reform recommendations that reflect the priorities and aspirations of Nigerian youths. But that's all.
Okay, so we'll see how that pans out. Quickly, let's, as well as we are having shortage of time here because we'll soon be wrapping up for the next program. This coalition has come up. Apart from if there are other issues that might need to emanate before the 2027 election, is there any room for introduction of that, or is this just rubber stamped that these 5 things you guys mentioned out here is just all? Are there not going to be any things that could be of necessity that might be imputed just to give it some?
No, when you want to engage in this kind of advocacy or in this kind of project, you have to be very smart. You have to apply smart. You have to be focused. So our focus is on this. Anything that comes up is subject to discuss in and come out again. Subsequent ones.
Okay.
But our priorities.
These ones are the ones.
These are our priorities. Our
now.
priority recommendations. Yes, for now.
Okay, thank you so much, and that's how we're going to be wrapping up the session. Thank you so much, Noso Orakwe, the Executive Director, Catch Them Young Initiative. We've really talked much about this, and then Nigerians earnestly clamor for electoral reforms. And even the Constitution too needs to be touched if we need to move in the right direction, and then, wake this sleeping giant, and that's the much of what we're going to be doing on this segment. And then thank you so much. I still remain Ajuluchukwu Okabwe.
And my name is Sijama Uche. Thank you for coming, Naso.
All right, thank you. Please get your CV, your voter's card for Anambra Guba elections. Get it now for our nation building. God Anambra Naman Divine.
All right, thank you.